Welcome to Wine Chats with Bildo and Lindelin. My name is Billy Milovanovic, aka Bildo.
And my name's Lindsay Kirkwood, also known as Lindelin.
And this is an offensively funny podcast about drinking wine and chatting life. Hope you enjoy!
Come on, Bill. Jeez.
Lindsay, please don't yell. Okay, keep it down. I've just had a baby. She's very furry and cute. Her name is Gary, and she's sleeping on the couch behind us. So today's going to be a very nice, gentle episode where we don't yell at each other.
Right.
Okay?
Shh.
So now that we're both here.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Can we get to the episode now?
What are we talking about today, Linny?
We're talking about inspirational women. Gag. No, we're just going to talk about like women that like we find in awe. Inspire us.
Surely there's some sort of like, go.
But not
inspirational women.
Music. Yeah, magical music.
There's some sort of music that's playing there, we think.
Yeah. Sort of. Just like women that we're kind of in awe of.
Yes.
Kind of like that. And to start off with our wine,
yes,
because two amazing women have created this lovely little bottle.
Yeah.
8 at the gate. These,
hey girls,
Billy loves them.
I do.
I do too.
Yeah.
But like you fan crush over them.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rightfully so, because their wines are delicious. So 8 at the gate, 2 sisters. They have 8 children between them. And their kids, can you grab me your glass instead of just sitting there looking pretty? Their 8 kids would wait at the gate for the school bus, hence the name, which is so super cute.
Super cute. And we got to meet Jane, not Claire, at the Good Food and Wine Festival last year, where we got to hang out with them a little bit in their stall and pour some wine and
God, that was
pretend
so
we
funny.
knew that we know things about wine. And it was really fun.
It was super fun.
It was so amazing.
This is their Chardonnay. I don't know if I said.
The Chardonnay.
The Chardonnay. Can you hold my glass?
I can.
Be a darling. We haven't had a Chardonnay in a while. So I'm actually quite excited.
We were the ABCs of Chardonnay, weren't we? But I think we've come around. There's been a few good Chardonnays that we've tried.
Definitely.
Once again, something synonymous with a Chardonnay we've learned over the last 4 years of doing this podcast is that the color is buttery.
And
this is.
Look at how honestly like enticing.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Sure it does.
Sure. So this is the Family Selection Chardonnay 2020.
Let's try it. 2020, I always get so impressed.
Yeah.
That was a really sad little go.
Your baby is sleeping.
God, Lindsay, keep it down.
Shh. Oh my God.
Oh, that's so nice.
Do you know what at first?
That doesn't seem like a Chardonnay.
Oh.
Because it's so good.
Really still like
I'm still a bit funny on the Chardonnays, on the Chardonnays.
I actually, as I was like sticking my schnoz in it, I had a good little sniffy.
Mm-hmm.
It smells so yummy.
I forgot to smell it. I mean, it smells like wine. I don't know, guys.
No. You know how some wines you sniff and it like attacks your nostrils?
Mm-hmm.
This one,
I feel like red wines do that more. I actually, now that I'm a little bit of a wine drinker, once a week for 4 years, I get now that like why red wine needs to breathe. Anyway, that's not to do with Chardonnay. But this is beautiful. Like it's a really nice, like almost refreshing. There is a little bit of like a musky heaviness to it.
Oh, musky.
You know, it's like a little bit musky, like a Chardonnay should be.
Oh,
a Chardonnay. Well, because it's like I feel like if it's buttery, it kind of has that same kind of flavor, right? It's not like it's supposed to be like a fresh, refreshing kind of.
Okay.
It's almost like a winter white. You guys, I'm making this up. We all know it. We all know it.
And do you know what I do? If you're new to listening and watching us, when Billy's going on one of these little rampages, I love it because I just sit back and like I shut my mouth because like more shit just spews out of her mouth, it's very entertaining. It's
and I've said this before that I expect so much for somebody to cut into what I'm saying so I don't have to finish what I'm saying. And Lindsay's learnt that now, so she stops cutting in and she just stands there and watches me. And then I'm like, the expectation for me to finish the sentence is actually outrageous. So
and then more shit like spews out of your mouth. It's so entertaining.
Anyway,
I just get these eyes like, keep going, keep talking.
What more do you want to spit?
Yeah, exactly. Wintry white, cool.
It is a winter white.
Look, winter's approaching on this side of the world.
It is. That's true.
Stock up on your 8 at the gate Chardonnay.
Absolutely, this one's beautiful.
I'm going to start off with a little quote. This was so funny. Oh, are you all right?
I have something in my mouth. You
Picking
go on.
a dog hair out of your mouth?
Possibly.
So we both get our coffee pods from Urban Brew.
Yes.
I got Billy onto it. You cannot take the fame from that. I'm the better one. You were like damaging the world. Because Urban Brew, like they're compostable.
Yes, biodegradable.
Yeah, biodegradable, compostable as well.
Pods.
Yeah, pods. Yes. I couldn't think of that word. Thanks, Bill.
I got you, girl.
So every time you get your monthly order, they always write in these little like quotes, like these little inspirational cards.
I truly appreciate them.
Yeah. And it's actually quite funny or ironic sometimes of like what they write.
Right.
It's like, this is ironic. This is like, are you watching
Give it to me.
Me yelling at my kids?
Are you watching our podcast? You should be.
You better be. So this one that I just got.
Yeah.
And we're talking about like inspirational, whatever. People inspire you or they drain you. Pick them wisely.
Clearly, I inspire Linda Lynn.
With your wintry white.
That's why she told me that a few weeks ago that every time I leave, she has to take Panadol because she gets headaches.
After we record, it's just so exhausting.
It really is. It's like there's such a spurt of energy and it's like, hey, everything. And then after it's done, it's like,
yeah. Because like
nothing left.
Yeah, you're exhausted. Because we don't just sit down and record. We do a lot of content stuff before.
This doesn't just happen, you guys. Okay? It takes time to put this shit together.
Especially our lipstick. God.
Girl.
Okay, Billy. I just want to drink wine, so I'm going to make you talk first.
Okay. I mean, apologies in advance because obviously...
Let me guess. You didn't do any research.
No,
you didn't
I actually
prepare.
did a bunch. But if you remember, if you're an avid follower of us, which you should all be, we were supposed to have a guest on last week. And so I had kind of prepared the episode, including a guest. But Frankie, unfortunately, Cameron was sick. We couldn't do an episode. Good one, Cameron. Yeah. So we didn't get to do that with Frankie. So essentially, I have like one person that I wanted to highlight.
Me. I inspire you. Yes, I knew.
Let me put this information away.
Yeah.
Linda Lynn was born in 1979.
It was.
In a small, beautiful place called...
Aurelia.
And here she is now, everybody.
Yeah, right.
That was
so
a really
inspiring.
good, great. No, my one lady that I was so inspired by is Greta Tintin Eleonora Ernman Thunberg.
Who the fuck is that? Oh, Greta. Like the little girl.
Yes.
Why does she have so many names?
That's her full name. Greta Tintin Eleonora Ernman Thunberg.
Okay, so anybody with a name like that, obviously,
Lindsay, this is an inspirational women episode.
No, that's why I'm saying. No, I was about to. Let me speak.
I was going to say, don't say something you're going to regret.
No, I was going to say anybody with a name like that is going to be doing something in the world because like a name like that needs to be heard because it's so odd.
Now, the reason I'm doing Greta is because I work as a teacher aide in a school. And anyway, one time I was in a class and they had those Little People, Big Dreams books. I don't know if you guys have come across them, but it's basically, bite-sized pieces of information about our inspirational people. Right. Anyway, as I was looking after the kids, because I was so very busy, clearly, I was reading this book about Greta. And although we all know about what she's done for the world, I kind of just wanted to give you a little bit of a profile about her and to tell you like how truly... that like every time we think to ourselves, well, that's too big for me and I can't accomplish that. Like this kid has made such waves in climate change, or is at least trying to.
No, tell me, because like I know of her and I know she's an activist and like she speaks like, at these protests and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know what she's actually accomplished and done. So tell me.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to give you, just listen to the story. Okay. This will be something.
God,
you'll get something.
In.
Okay.
Strap on.
She's born in 2003.
That's gross.
Which should make us all feel really fucking old, considering we all know her name and she's an activist and I finished high school in 2003.
Okay, but she's 20, so she's out of her teens.
Well, she's 20 now.
Yeah, but like...
you're old now, Greta. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the big deal?
What's the big deal? God, you've had 20 years already. Jesus. Okay, so Greta actually has autism. She's been diagnosed with a form of autism.
Okay.
Which is essentially characterized, I've written here, by abnormalities in social interactions, but more so people, with autism tend to deeply focus on an interest or an idea. So most of them have something that they're like really into. Lots of like people with autism are into animals or whatever. Greta's thing is climate change.
Saving the world.
Saving the freaking world.
Okay.
Well done. Okay, cheers to that.
The standard. Like, let's go high.
Right? Like, I'm going to solve world hunger. Like, thanks, Greta. Jesus. Okay, so she says that she first heard about climate change in 2011 when she was 8 years old. Okay, and she could not understand why so little was being done about it.
I wouldn't even know. My eldest is 9, And if I said climate change, I don't even know if he would know what that means.
I think he would just throw a hashtag in front of it and hope for the best, So she said the situation made her depressed, and as a result, at the age of 11, she stopped talking and eating and lost 10 kilograms. This kid became selectively mute.
In protest to like how shit we were treating the world?
Not in protest, in absolute depression about where the world is heading. She stopped talking. So her activism itself began in 2018. So she got an idea following a school shooting in the States. Every few months. Yeah, which one? In the States in February that year, so of 2018, she heard about a protest by students refusing to return to school because they don't feel safe.
Yeah.
Then in May that year, she won a climate change essay competition held by a Swedish newspaper. In part, she wrote, "I want to feel safe. How can I feel safe when I know we are in the greatest crisis in human history?" Like, this kid has big thoughts about the world. And again, I think that's like autism in itself is like where you're focused, like have such a particular focus. Mm-hmm. And she, if you're going to focus on climate change, it's pretty dire out there, isn't it?
Oh, well, yeah. It's not really like a happy-go-lucky, like.
No. In August that year, so still in 2018, after attempting to gather a group to start protesting, she showed up at the steps of the Swedish parliament.
Right. Because I heard when she was 15 was when she did her Greta thing, right? Okay.
Very good.
So this is what we're at now then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So she's 15. She tried to get a group of people together to go and protest. Everybody was like, nah, I'm 15. I'm kissing boys. I don't care about this.
Yeah.
So she was like, fuck that. I'm going by myself. Okay. So her protesting began after heat waves and wildfires during Sweden's hottest summer in at least 262 years.
That always gets them fired up.
Right?
Always, yeah.
Her demands were that the Swedish government reduce carbon emissions in accordance with the Paris Agreement, and she protested by sitting outside Riksdag. It's Sweden's supreme decision-making body.
Okay.
Every day for 3 weeks during school hours with the sign Skoltrick for klimatet. Can you guess what it is?
Stop being dicks.
Yes. School strike for climate.
Close.
Right?
Where were her parents in all this? I mean, obviously very supportive.
Her parents?
Or did they know?
Let me finish my little thing and then we can have a little chat about her parents because that's a very good question and good point.
She's only
right?
15, yeah.
Then after she started these strikes, thanks to some savvy social media posts by a bunch of different Swedish activists, some who had used her name without her knowing, there was a whole bunch of drama there. We skipped that. But essentially a bunch of Swedish activists started using her on social media and her mission really took off. Do you mind?
Right, on my leg.
Okay, stretch out and we can, they're crisscross. There we go.
Oh, good.
Okay, so she got social media famous.
Right.
After October 2018, her activism evolved from solitary protesting to taking part in demonstrations throughout Europe, making several high-profile public speeches and mobilizing her growing number of followers on social media platforms.
Fabulous.
Okay? So she started using all the social media movement to her own advantage. Yes. After the December 2018 general elections, Thunberg continued to strike only on Fridays. She inspired school students across the globe to take part in student strikes. That month, more than 20,000 students had held strikes in at least 270 cities.
And so I was going to say, is that all in her part of the world? Or is this international?
Look, let's go ahead and assume that it was Europe because Europe's awesome. But either way, whether it was global or not, I guess either way, this is a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, that has got that movement going.
Who was yelling at the world, who was getting up there and doing all those speeches where she is like, you are ruining this world. What are you going to do about it? Really trying to shake us up. Now, going back to her parents quickly, her mum was a famous opera singer apparently back in Sweden. And dad, I'm not sure what dad did, but she forced her parents to stop using air travel. So and I don't know there's been some sort of beef recently about her using air travel and whatnot, but she was like, that's the biggest carbon emissions or whatever is there. Yeah. So her mum, as a famous opera singer, couldn't go and do gigs anymore and had to reduce a whole bunch of stuff. But then her dad did an interview once where he was like, her mum didn't do this for climate change. She did this to support her child who she saw was suffering. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So obviously her parents weren't cool with her doing the protests, but because I guess maybe of her condition or her not speaking for such a long time, you know what I mean? You want to do whatever you want, you can to support your child.
And if you see your kid so passionate about anything, whether it's motorbikes, grasshoppers, freaking saving the world, whatever it is, you're going to support them in that interest, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I just found her, having read that little bit and like realizing she went mute because she was so like depressed about the state of the world. I just thought, my God, this kid who everybody says kids can't do stuff. You know, you can't do so. I can't make this change. I can't do that. Like, what an inspirational woman. Now she's 20. Yeah. Look, what an inspirational human even to exist, let alone woman.
Totally. And I don't ask this in a judgmental way. It's going to come across judgmental, but I'm not. No. So what has she...
I don't know. You're going to ask me, what has she accomplished?
Yeah. I mean, she's accomplished a lot. I get it. But like, has she got any special bills passed or like anything?
Next topic. I don't fucking know. Sure. I'm sure she has. Lindsay, I just wanted to tell you about her, okay? I was inspired by the fact that this little kid went and sat in front of Parliament by herself with her own little sign.
Totally. That's an accomplishment right
and
there.
Created a global movement where we are actually talking and thinking about it, and whether we're talking about her in a negative way, which a lot of people want to obviously because people suck, or a positive way, we're still talking about it. We're talking about climate change. We're talking about the fact that we're fucking up this world.
Yeah.
Personally, I think we've already fucked the world. I don't think that there's really much going back to it. Sure, if we all started doing huge things together, we can make solutions, absolutely. But I'm basically just waiting for us to all combust. So, I mean, Greta, that's awesome, darling, and well done. Seriously, kudos to you.
Oh, my God.
But, I mean, her and I both understand that the world is fucked. So, recycle your plastics and just wait to die, people, because that's where it's going.
You can't even recycle the soft plastics now. What a sham.
That's what I'm saying.
What a sham.
And what were they doing with that anyway? Every time I see one of those, like, read stories about those recycle trucks that take the recycling to the rubbish tip.
Like but the soft plastics. No, but the debacle.
I mean, I know they stopped it.
Well, they stopped, but do you know why they stopped it? No. Because all the soft plastics that were being taken from like Woolies and Coles that were supposed to be recycled.
Stop it.
They've been storing them in a big fucking warehouse, multiple warehouses. They're not even getting recycled. They're going to end up in the tip. But like they've, like on the news, because you don't watch the news, they show these warehouses full of all of this soft plastic. So here we think we're doing something good for the world. It's not going to save the world. We're still going to combust, but at least we're doing something. But we're not.
Greta, babe, just don't listen anymore, okay? Because this isn't going anywhere good. I actually cannot believe that. And seriously, stories of like so many recycle trucks dumping their recycling. And plus people aren't even recycling properly, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? Like I actually, for ages I didn't know that you couldn't like just chuck your plastic bag full of recycling into the recycling box. Like I didn't know, this is years ago. That's when
what do you mean? You put your plastic?
Back when plastic bags were all the rage.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I would put my recycling in the plastic bags and then chuck it all out. I didn't realize like people literally don't know how to recycle here properly. Yeah. At least like in Europe, I don't know if in Canada or the States. I mean, the States are fucked as well. I don't think they do anything. But sorry guys. But Europe is really good with recycling. Like they'll give you those, boxes of like glass and cans, plastics and blah, blah, like that's coming a little more popular here in Australia.
Right.
But I still think we're not doing it right and we're not doing enough. There's huge companies that aren't making really the big changes that we need them to make. I don't know what companies exactly. Let's just pick one.
But I mean, this is getting way off topic. But the thing is, like, you can't blame the country for not doing the recycling well.
No,
like
I blame them all. Okay, I blame them all.
Because like on the Brisbane city app that I have, when you can see when your garbage day and big item pickup is, like they have a thing about recycling and what goes in what. Like it literally.
So it's on me. I have to be the one to do the research. So I have to be the one to read that big sticker on the recycling box that they say do and don't.
It's really hard. Yeah.
Okay.
Brisbane recycling app right here.
Yeah. Listen, I guess the first and only inspirational woman I really have is Greta Thunberg. So Greta, here's to you. Thank you so much for trying in a world of haters and and bad recyclers.
I'd love to see what she actually, what else she accomplishes in her life, because people like that don't just have their 50 minutes of fame and then go away, right? Like she's going to be fighting for the world for the rest of her life.
Yes. That's her thing in life.
Yeah. She's going to be like either the president or something.
She's like the David Attenborough of rubbish, of climate change.
Can he please be a woman for this episode? I am in so much awe
Henry
of that man.
Henry is obsessed with David Attenborough.
Who isn't?
Obsessed.
He's like 90 something, and he has a new show just
How is he still
out.
alive? Yes.
Well, from all that trouble.
Every show I see of him, he's getting like more and more like falling apart.
Well, he's 90 something.
Plus, like no dental care in the UK. Bless poor old.
They always have such bad teeth. I don't know what his teeth look like. They probably look all right. Plus, he's 90 something.
He looks like he's British, that's it.
Okay, so Greta's a bit of a tough one to
follow. Top. Yeah. Have you saved recently, Lindsay?
None. And I really suck balls at this whole topic because I don't have a proper list. I don't have.
Did you not come prepared? Did you not do your research?
Well, no, I do have a list, but there's nobody on my list. Like I don't find any woman inspirational. Okay.
Any woman?
Yeah. I don't have okay.
I guess you would, but you don't think about it in that way. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure you'd see someone and be like, wow. Okay, no. She inspires herself. It's fine.
No, but there's those people that are like, oh, wow, Greta, amazing. Oh, wow, my mom, amazing. Oh, wow, Kim Kardashian, whoever.
Uh-huh.
I just don't have that was so fun. Nah.
Sure.
Oh, wow. Tone it down, Bill. No, I'm taking it a different route.
Okay. Do we need any trigger warnings before you do this?
No trigger warnings, but it's sad. I mean, if you need a trigger warning because it's sad stuff, sure.
Yes, because trigger people warning. Like me, I just smacked myself in the face. People like me need trigger warnings for sad stuff.
Okay.
So we can keep scrolling without listening to it. Okay. I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm going to talk about death. Okay, trigger warning.
Yes, good. Okay.
I find women that either lose a child through stillborn or just losing a child in general. I don't know how women survive that. I can't comprehend going on with life or losing their partner, death. Like I can't comprehend dealing with death when it affects my immediate world.
Yes. That's horrible.
I don't know. I just find
didn't know that was coming.
And it's a bit of a different spin. I get it. But like, I just find like, okay.
I like it. I like the spin.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, good.
Because I do all the time. Yeah. I like it because, in all honesty, so much traumatic stuff happens out there, and women lose children every day. Men too, but we're talking about women.
Yeah.
That's fucking devastating. Linda likes to read the most devastating stories.
Well, I need all the details.
And I do not, like we said, like I'm very much a scroll on, keep on, kind of happy, go lucky. I want to ignore that sort of stuff happens in the world altogether.
Right.
Whereas you do very much go down the rabbit hole of like finding out everything that happened, why and how and whatnot.
I don't know why. I feel like I need all the details to process the sadness and to not in like a gory, gross sicko way. Yeah. Like I don't know why, but I do. But okay, so think of it. Picture yourself like we were so lucky with our pregnancies and deliveries, like beyond lucky.
Yeah.
I just think of a woman knowing that she has to give birth to her baby that has already died.
Stop.
Like I'm not trying to make light of it either. Like I read about these stories and you hear about them because like I have a friend that had to go through that. Like, my God. I don't know how you go through that experience knowing that your baby is already dead. How? Literally, how do they keep going?
How do you keep going? That's right. And especially if you have another child and having to then be present for them. You know what I mean? Like if your whole, like if, again, lots of trigger warnings here, guys. If your whole family fell off a cliff, I would be quite happy to jump after them. You know what I mean? But if you had a child left, I don't know how that's such a heavy thing to try and process. And I can... my mum was on my list actually.
Oh, bitch. See? No, and my mum should be. I love you, mum. You're so inspirational.
No. And your mum should be as well because your mum was a single mum. And I think, again, totally single mums, hats off. We do it with partners and it's fucking hard.
Yeah, yes.
And we do it with active partners. Husbands who are good fathers, who are involved to bring home the bacon and then cook it. You know what I mean? Like they're incredible. And it's
but
still
don't
hard.
clean up after it. Jesus.
Okay, well you can't do it all, Lindsay. And we still find it hard. I cannot imagine that like women who do it all by themselves, have a bunch of kids. Hats off to you.
Yeah.
I put my mum and actually Henry's mum on the list as well.
Oh, okay.
Because both of our mums went through so much shit as mothers.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my mum, obviously there was a war that happened. She had to, move her whole family, both my parents, but, like having to be, I guess, a mother of and a woman to deal with all that, knowing what you know, knowing that there's all this drama in the world, and then having to relocate your kids, and then still having to put a smile on your face and you know,
be like, not be scared shitless, or show you how
or
scared
show
you
your
are.
fear, and still go into a country where you don't know the language, you know, all of that sort of stuff. And women are doing it every single day. How many fucking wars are happening in the world right now where women are protecting their children and trying to do the best that they can, and you know, still giving them some sort of hope in life
and care, like the kids would still feel loved and safe.
Yes.
You know, because their mom's there.
Because that's what I always felt. I feel like I grew up with this really happy childhood. Like I don't ever feel like I felt the war. My brother was a little bit older, but I never felt it. Like I remember going into a shop with my mum and being like, oh, I love this doll. It's so pretty, you know, it's so cute. And then the next day my mum shows up and gives me this doll. And it was only when I still have the doll. And it was only now that I'm here that she told me the story of like, we had no money. So she was like, I spent the last money we had to get you this doll to keep you happy. To like, it wasn't that I was, you know, begging for it. I wasn't like a cry. It wasn't any of that. It was just more like, I wanted to give you that so you had some sort of, you know, like life is okay.
Yasna, you're on my list, babe.
Do you know what I mean?
Inspirational,
but it's not, Yasna is an example of how many women out there are doing the exact same thing to keep hope in the world alive.
For the kids.
For the kids. Well, kids are the future, right?
Yeah. Well, gag. Yes.
Don't be gross. Gag. Don't be mean. Right?
Yeah. But no, it's true. Like mothers, it's just our instinct, right?
Yes.
Like,
and I guess mothers, aunties, anyone looking after any kind of children, carers, foster carers, Jesus, the good ones, not the creepy ones.
Right. I'm like,
do you know what I mean? Like Henry's mum, who had to be on a boat, sell her jewelry. Henry's mum had to sell jewelry because she was pregnant with Henry's older sister as they were coming from Vietnam over to Australia on a boat. They made it to Malaysia, Tiaman Island, and she had to sell jewelry to be able to buy a pair of scissors to cut the umbilical cord.
What?
So she had given birth.
Wait. You're missing a key point of the story.
How did you not get all of that?
You're talking about selling jewelry on a boat, and now you're talking about buying scissors to cut her umbilical cord.
Yes.
You didn't say
So they were on a boat from Vietnam to Australia. They got attacked by a bunch of pirates and stuff. Finally made it to Tiaman Island. This is en route to Australia. That's where, so Henry's older sister was born
on
Tiaman
the boat
Island.
Or on the island?
No, on Tiaman Island, probably in some sort of camp.
Okay, so she's on the island. She goes into labor.
Yes. So they have to, I mean, I don't know the details, but like all I know is they had to sell whatever jewelry they had to try and buy a pair of scissors.
In preparation, knowing that I'm going to be giving
probably, I guess,
birth, I need something to cut the scissors. Yes. So I'm assuming she just gave birth in a hut or something. Like
I don't know. What did they have? I don't know. In a camp or something. Oh, there might have been. I honestly don't know. Like I don't know the details. I don't know.
Can you get the detail? This is what I mean. I need
your problem is that you're asking for details. Just go with it. Yeah, see?
Exactly. This is what I
No,
like,
I don't know.
That's
all that they've given me. So I'm not going to say to her mum, wait, where was the doctor?
Why would you?
I don't know. She was telling me the story. I'm like, yes, okay, Mrs. Duke.
And you ask questions. I need Mrs. Do.
Anyway, inspirational woman. Anyone who goes through any kind of like, woman, we're giving birth to the world. Do you know what I'm saying? Like how, and then the trauma happens. Terrifying. What's on your deep dark list?
Well, no, my deep dark list is just dealing with loss. Like children, obviously number one, and husbands. But I think that's my whole like, because I'm like petrified of dying, and I'm petrified of losing like my obviously anybody that I love. But like, if I think about losing Cameron, I'm like, how will I survive?
I cry about it. Like I actually will get teary thinking about it. 100%.
I was going to say 100% as well. I agree. Like literally yesterday, Cameron took the kids to school, and I had this gross image in my head as they're all getting into the truck. I'm like, what if they all died? Like my whole being is in that truck. Like what happens if there's a bad accident and they all die and they all get wiped out? Like I
don't know how people do it. I honestly don't know. Like when I hear people like, and then they give you interviews and are like, you know, I'm just taking it day by day. I honestly don't know how you do that.
No.
Because I think my initial reaction would be, and you know, I mean, all of this is such a fat trigger warning. I'm sorry. But sorry guys, this is not what I expected to be talking about. I thought you were going to tell me about a new thing Kardashians came out with or something.
Which I do, yes, continue on. We'll brighten it up with that at the end.
No, but there's so many situations of like when something like a child like drowns in, you know, in a family pool or whatever.
Yeah.
The police will actually stand outside the house, outside the home in case like a mum runs out into traffic. So if they're on a busy street,
really?
Yes, that like it's happened a bunch of times where people just can't like they try and off themselves. Like then and there. So I've actually, because I have a bunch of police officer friends, and
wow, I mean that makes total sense. Total sense. But wow, how
that would be me. You would have to have police stationed out there because I would do what I can to. Like, why would I stick around? I I don't know, obviously.
If you had other children.
If you have other children, but that's what I'm saying. If your whole world is gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Check it off.
To sum it up, I find women that deal with tragic situations very inspirational.
Denise Morcom.
Oh God,
Danielle's mom, right? Yeah. Like she created. Like I think that's it. She's an inspirational woman. Also her husband, and they were a team. That's cool.
And because they're actually doing stuff to
they made
the
it.
world.
Yes, they made a whole big company to teach kids safety after that happened to their son. I mean, how you move on from that and then create a flower bed from it is just incredible to me. Yeah, like. Do you have something like happy?
I do. Okay, so the Kardashians. I know you are, but fuck off. Why? No.
Just because.
Okay, so on Stan, I was flipping through Stan the other day, and I don't know if you know that there's a documentary on Stan now, a 2-part series.
I didn't.
Yeah, because you have Stan now.
I do.
Go look it up. So it's just it's a documentary about the Kardashians, 2-part series, just about how not how they became famous, but kind of how they became famous, and just kind of going along with that. And again, I'm like, this fucking family of women, like they have smashed it.
That's true.
No matter how you spin it, like, and their media dude was saying, like, you know, they're being called famous for being famous. They have no talent. Their talent is being fucking famous. Yeah. Being able to be as famous as they are. None of them have said, I'm going to be a singer. I'm going to be an actor. Yeah. I can sing. I can act. Yeah. They were approached, you know, by this whole like TV crew.
Probably
and
Ryan
stuff.
Seacrest.
Well, yeah, his crew, right? Yeah. Obviously, it all stemmed from the sex tape. Yes, we all know that. But like, it just opened my eyes up again. Yes. Like, it doesn't matter what you think, whatever you believe. I'm sure there's been some publicity stunts in there. Yeah, those two. But like, they fucking killed it.
I think they're inspirational if you want that type of life.
Oh, and that type of, like,
do you know what I mean? Like
their businesses that
I think, and that's true. Like they've created an absolute empire, and you're right, run by women, a bunch of women. Yeah. Even like Bruce turned into a woman to follow in the steps. Like even he was inspired.
Stop. Oh my God.
Like look at what they've done. They're turning men into women. It's incredible.
I think that should have been your trigger warning, Billy. That comment there. Okay,
look, Bruce, I love them now. Caitlin. I like to hate them.
I don't hate them. I'm in awe of them, and I don't
hate them. I just think that they've taken it too far. But that's how? It's too big now. They've gotten too much money, and now they're selling their souls for it. That's how.
How are they selling their souls?
They just are. We've talked about the Balenciaga
I know, but they're doing this. Oh, that's stupid. I disagree. Okay, let's
move on. Yeah. We're not gonna. No, you don't have anybody else. Inspired by anything else.
No, I'm not inspired. But we did have a few people comment back. So a lot of people said their mom, which it makes me feel guilty again that I.
Yeah, I cannot believe. Susie Q, I got you, babe.
Look, my mom's amazing. Single mom. She worked her ass off. She's still working. Like, yes, amazing. Yes. I had to Google who this person is. Do you know who Mel Robbins is?
Yes, she's like one of those motivational speaking ladies. Yes.
So she's one of the most widely booked and followed podcast hosts. Oh, I feel like I should have known
Mel, we're right behind you, babe.
We're on your heels. Hot on your heels now. Here we come. So that's after I Googled her, I'm like, yeah, she is inspirational. And then this was an interesting comment, which I like this. Those who stay honest to who they are.
Which is a really hard thing to do.
Okay. Why? Who are you really? Why is it so hard?
No, I think that's a really important point. And this is why Lindsay is very inspirational to me, even though I'm not inspirational to her. Because it... And this is something we talked about in last week's episode as well. About body, what the fuck? About like women not being able to speak up and say what's really on their mind. I think I'm one of those people and that's what I think that comment is about, is like saying true to like what you really think, because I'm such a people pleaser, and so many of us are, that when somebody, like when I'm in a conversation and you're talking about what you're talking about, I will go along with what you say just to please you.
Right. Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't have that. Like you, if you were having a conversation with me and you didn't agree with what I said,
I'd let her know.
Lindsay would not be shy about telling me what she thinks exactly about. And I genuinely find that inspirational. And I've genuinely learned so much about how I live.
Yeah.
How I live life from learning from you because it's really, it's not an easy thing, but it's not an easy thing. How many times have we sat together and put texts together for people that I cannot?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's really hard, I think, for me to, if you're a real people pleaser at the core, it actually takes a lot to be able to say, no, I can disagree with that. And I can tell you I disagree with that without upsetting you. Yeah. Without just actually saying to you like, no, I don't think that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's true.
And that's actually not a really easy thing to do.
Oh,
it really isn't.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's sweet. You like me. That's nice.
I'll keep you. Still Wine Chats with Bildo and Linda Lynn.
So you are certainly inspirational to me. That's kind of it, I think. Oh, okay. Last one before we wrap up.
Yes. I'm waiting.
Thank you to all the lovely, mothers groups out there, like school mums.
Oh, right.
Can I please give a big shout out? I don't know if you have school mum friends as well. Yeah. You can feel free to give them a big shout out.
Yeah, totally. What are we shouting at them for?
Just everything. Oh. Just actually helping me get through life. Just telling me when, reminding me when things are on, making sure, when I don't have an orange dress for Harmony Day, that they jump in and give me an orange dress for Harmony Day.
Don't you have class reps?
Sure. No, I don't read any of those messages. I'm kind of muted. It's a lot, okay? They send a lot of information out. Lindsay's a class rep. You know why I ignore you. I ignore you. Why am I going to speak to my own class rep?
Okay, I'm a class rep for all 3 of my kids' classes.
Of course.
If I'm spending my time to send out those messages out,
of course you are. Yeah, right.
Of course I am, yeah.
Okay. But I mean, class rep isn't going to give me an orange dress when I need one. You know what I'm saying?
No, but we're going to tell you to get an orange dress.
Anyways, I just feel very dependent on these women. Yeah. And I think it's a really nice thing in this whole women supporting women business where in fact we say that we do, but really we're all just really bitchy to each other. Oh. So here's a big fat shout out to the not even mum groups because I'm just talking about them, but groups of women in general who actually are trying to help a sister out.
Exactly, because it's a tough game. Because the mums, this isn't going to be woe is us mothers. But it's factual that whether you're a working mom or a stay-at-home mom or somewhere in the middle, the life of the household and the survival of the household, typically 99% of it falls on the mother.
Yes.
So, and that's a lot of fucking responsibility, especially once you have multiple kids or even a kid in school. Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on. So you're totally right with saying that. All of us women need to
we rely on each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly. And it's not just telling me when dates, important dates or whatever. Actually just being able to say to me, I did this with my kid. Women who have older kids, you know what I mean? Who have gone through that stuff. Yeah. To say, hey, this would be really useful. Prepare it like this or you can say it like that. Any of those kinds of tips, I quite genuinely rely on them on the regular.
Yeah, fair.
So thank you, school mums. I'm not going to name names. Hi, Nairi and Jackie and this. And Nicole and this and that. Anyway, that's it. Lindsay's cutting me off. I'm being cut off. Hi, ladies. Love you. Thanks. Thank you for joining us for this latest episode of Wine Chats podcast with Bildo and Linda Lynn. You can find us on our socials on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And you can listen to us on any favorite podcasting app or watch on YouTube.
And don't forget to subscribe, share, review, comment, send us some love. We absolutely love it.
Chat soon. Come on, Lenny. Chat soon.
Chat soon.
Chat soon.
We're not putting this in.
Come on.
Okay, we'll add in chat soon at the end. Both of us?
Yeah, go
on.
Chat
soon.